Vivek Ramaswamy, he is definitely laying down the facts on Christie and Haley. So Haley, you can see that she is blank-faced when Vivek is asking her, or basically making the assumption that she has no idea which provinces they are defending in Ukraine.
Foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for. And there's her puppet masters right there, the donors right there that are playing her like the puppet masters.
Hold on.
And I think it's pretty obvious that she feels very uncomfortable about that. And as well as Chris Christie, he can't mention anything as well. And he does bring up a good point. $200 billion being sent over there, and we're not really sure who we're defending or really what's going on. It's kind of a broad term. Obviously, I understand the sentiment. We don't want Russia to take over the Ukraine and this and that and become a powerhouse over many of the countries in the region. However, Vivek does lay down a pretty good point. And the interesting thing is he does it in a way that Chris Christie gets really pissed off.
Look, this is nonsense. This man is spewing. This man is spewing nonsense.
Let me tell you something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America. So shut up for a little while.
I'm going to respond to that. Chris, your version of...
We're going to let you respond to that. We're going to let you respond to that.
I'll take that.
I want to say something else. We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence, not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions. She wouldn't be able to find something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in a Republican primary. And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman, and you should stop insulting her.
So I'm going to take several times over. So first of all, I think we just learned something from Chris Christie. We learned 3 things. We learned 3 things right there. First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York. Yeah. So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. When it comes to Nikki...
He calls him young and basically a little bastard. And Vivek comes right back and calls him a fat bastard in response. So whether or not you think that is good for a presidential debate, I think Vivek, he started off all of these debates, and actually remember way back months ago where he seemed to be more diplomatic and saying that we're going to go to something and not against something and be very proactive and positive. He had something change in his playbook in which he is saying, F this, F that, I am going full throttle on this, and I'm going to go after the Republican Party and other conservatives that are running. And I think he does bring up a good point. Nikki Haley does seem like a Hillary Clinton infiltrated the GOP. It does not seem that she is really going to do anything conservative when she actually would be in office. And he brings up a good point that she's being funded by these corporate donors because she is a neocon, Rino, and we've dealt with that for too long in the Republican Party, and we know what kind of results we get from that. We get endless wars, endless spending, none of the ideas that were espoused of limited government and having a balanced budget and all that, none of that stuff will be implemented at all. So I think that is important for the American people to know that this is no joke. This is millions and millions of lives that are in the balance here. So I think Vivek, he has my vote, or Ron DeSantis, but either one of those two I think I would definitely go for, especially over Christie or Haley, because they just seem like total wish-washy, flip-floppity neocons, and I think that really has no place in our country today, especially if we want to be leaders and lead by example in the international community, because it's really getting bad out there, folks. So what do you think? Be sure to comment, get involved in the conversation, and don't forget to like and subscribe for additional content to come.